And I'm back again. It's been a while. I've been MIA for a minute because I've been busy working on my new startup, blockgeeks.com. Go check that out right now. But in today's video, we're gonna be talking about my top 5 favorite books. I get this question every single day. Amir, what book should I read? Amir, what marketing book should I read? Business book, mindset book, etc, etc, etc. There's so many to choose from. So, in no particular order, I will pick you my 5 favorite, and these, they switch from time to time. It's not like these are my 5 favorite for my whole life. However, in my particular moment in my life, these 5 are the most applicable to me. So I hope this helps you out, okay? Number 1, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the one and only Joseph Campbell. If you don't know who Joseph Campbell is, you gotta. If you're familiar with the movie Star Wars or any of these, galaxy movies, he's the man behind this. He was one of George Lucas's best friends. I would say Joseph Campbell was probably the most influential person in the last 100 years when it comes to culture, myth, and religion. He passed away in the 80s. He's famous for the hero's myth. So if you ever hear about that, the hero's myth, the hero's journey, going through, ordeals and conquering your fears or conquering your demons, that is Joseph Campbell. This book, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, is a very heavy read. I've gone through it numerous times. And it's not a book that you read from top to cover. It's not a book that you just read for the sake of reading. It's a book that you enjoy. You have to be the connoisseur of information in this. However, if this is too much for people, I would suggest going on Audible and getting 2 of the audios with Joseph Campbell. One is with Bill Moyers, The Power of Myth. Fantastic interview series. There's 5 parts to that. And the other one is Wisdom of Joseph Campbell with Tom. I forget the guy's last name. But those 2 series on Audible, I have personally listened to more than 20 times each. And every single time that I listen to, I get a piece of wisdom. There's something to just take away that I didn't take away from before. So in my humble opinion, I think it should be mandatory for kids to learn about Joseph Campbell. I really believe that it should be mandatory for everybody to learn about Joseph Campbell, because this man right here has done so much for this world, and not too many people know about him. He has single-handedly steered my life in a different direction for the good. Okay, so that's number 1, Joseph Campbell. Okay, moving on to number 2. Number 2 is one and the only Edward Bernays, the nephew of Freud. This book, Propaganda, should be sitting on your shelf right now. If you are familiar with Hollywood, which obviously you are, well, boom. This man right here is the inventor of it. He's also the inventor of manipulating the mass public to support war. So World War I, World War II, Vietnam War, you name it, this guy, single-handedly, this guy's brain was behind all that media, that marketing, the manipulation. And if you really want to get into the mind of a mass media manipulator, like this guy's a Jedi mind when it comes to like hypnotizing people and convincing people that they have free will, which is obviously a joke. People don't have free will. People are triggered by cognitive biases, and people are morphed into certain directions that certain puppet masters want people to take. So please read Propaganda. And once again, these books I'm mentioning to you, they're not about just reading for the sake of reading. That's pointless. You want to become a connoisseur of wisdom and knowledge in these books. So basically what you want to do is take your time, maybe read a chapter a day, write to yourself about what you'll learn in that chapter, take notes within this book, and become a master of the book. Don't just read for the sake of reading. Learn from the books. Mine out wisdom from the book. Become, a master of this certain topic. And I highly recommend that you get Propaganda by Edward Bernays, put it on your shelf, and reread it, and reread it, and reread it, okay? So this book will land underneath, I would say, marketing and mindset book. And Joseph Campbell's book for number 1 would be spiritual and personal self-development. Okay, number 3. Jay Abraham, the man, the myth, the business connoisseur, the coach of all coaches. Jay Abraham. If you don't know who he is, stop this video right now. Go to YouTube and type in Jay Abraham. That man single-handedly has transformed the lives of thousands, if not millions, of entrepreneurs around the world. This book alone is like the holy Bible of business right here. It has strategy, it has tactics, it has mindset, and he knows what he's talking about. So I don't want to do Jay Abraham any disservice, but I highly recommend that you get your hands on everything and anything from Jay Abraham and reread it and reread it and reread it. Do you see the commonality? There's a theme among all these books that I'm mentioning. You don't read these books for the sake of reading them. You absorb them. You internalize these books into you. I have gone through this book a dozen, if not a million times. I'm going to keep on going over and over again. And there's always something, you know, there's always something new I learn when I reread it. That was number 3. Number 4. This one is pretty brand new when it comes to books. All those books that I mentioned already, they're pretty old, so they've been around. But I would say this one is fantastic, and that is 0 to 1 from Peter Thiel. And why I like this book is it really makes you think differently. It makes you think very contrarian, as opposed to everyone thinking in a linear model, everyone following the line, what everybody else is doing. And what really stood out to me over here when it comes to Peter Thiel is he doesn't just talk about his personal beliefs. He's also talking about mathematics, he talks about statistics, he talks about human behavior, he talks about history, and he wraps everything up together. So if you're looking for a competitive edge when it comes to thinking differently in your business, if you're looking to figuring out ways how you can stand above from everybody else, if you're looking ways to kind of like just break free from the standardization model that everybody else is kind of manipulated to think like, get 0 to 1. This, once again, is not a book. This is a resource guide. You got to go through highlight pages, extract pages, bunny ear pages. Like, I've gone through this book numerous times. For example, one section I really like is, let me pull up over here where my bunny ears is. For example, in this part, a lot of people think having competition is good. However, Peter Thiel says, no, it's not good having competition. He's like, either you're number one and you control everything, or you're not. You know, it's pointless to go into that industry. And he breaks down, like I said, mathematics, charts, theories, and it's all here for you. Everything is here for you, okay? Number 4. And finally, the creme de la creme, a book that fuses history with Stoic philosophy, with business case studies, with personal experience. And that is Seeking Wisdom by Peter Bevelin and Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger is a business partner to Warren Buffett. This book right here, I would say single-handedly is the best business book of all time I have ever read, period. Like I said before, it combines Stoic philosophy with history, with case studies of businesses, with cognitive biases, so human psychology, with personal stories of business, all into one beautifully, eloquently produced book. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, this book is hard to get. You're gonna be probably paying a couple $100, but after reading this book a million times, internalizing parts of it, I would gladly pay $5,000 for this book. That's how much knowledge is in this book. So get this book. Don't let money be an obstacle in the way of getting this book. Like I said, it's worth every single penny. So let's recap. Seeking Wisdom, 0 to 1, Jay Abraham, Propaganda, Edward Bernays, and Joseph Campbell. That's that. Get those books. Do it now. Don't procrastinate. Don't waste time. You know the saying? The more you learn, the more you earn. Okay? Peace out. Oh, okay. One more thing. I want to know what books have transformed your life, so leave a comment below this video, and I'll get back to you. Peace.